YouTube. This is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and I'm excited about this video. Okay, welcome to my African American, I don't know, crafty type kind of sort of series that I started 3 years ago. Yeah, this is the third year. And I'm excited about this video because I've been talking about bringing this video 2 years ago and never did. I actually compiled this binder here 2 years ago. There will be a part two, if not part three, because I have not added anything new to this in a couple years. And I have a whole lot more of what you're going to see in this binder. Okay, I'm excited. I got to turn this heater down because all of a sudden I just got a little warm. My dog Oink. My dogs, they love my craft room. And Oink, he likes to, if he could bust in here, he would, just to lay in front of the heater. It is winter in my neck of the woods, but it looks and feels like spring a lot of days, but it gets chilly in the morning. Okay, back to my African American series in celebration of Black History Month, which is February. I will have my third installment video sharing vintage African American paper dolls. For the last 2 years, I've brought a video each sharing the paper dolls I acquired for the year, and I did acquire more last year, including vintage paper doll cards. So I'll be sharing that sometime this month. But let's get started, you guys. I love it when I find the vintage. Well, I didn't tell you guys. Well, you know by the title of the video what's in this binder, right? And once again, I have a whole lot more because this only includes some of the patterns I put in a couple years ago. Alrighty, I'll start, I guess, with this because I made copies. And you know what? I need to find this paper, this pattern. Well, anyway, I made copies a couple years ago of some of the patterns, and I made them into paper dolls. So I still need to put these inside. I need to use them. Alrighty, I do have a favorite vintage pattern that I'm going to share last. Hopefully I don't forget. But these are some die cuts. I played with a lot of different patterns. And I did scan. All of these probably are scanned, but I collect so many. I don't think I'm going to scan my favorite ones. Okay, let's get started. Now, for this catalog, I try to organize these by dates. They're not necessarily in order though, because sometimes it's hard to know what date a pattern is. But yeah, love 1959 or 69. I probably couldn't read the date. I'm going to point out the ones I believe are African American, and it's this one here. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, I love this pattern. But you see her face is cut off because sometimes the patterns are, oh, hope that's better. Sometimes the patterns are bruised, but she's African American here. I forget what this is called, the outfit, but take a look at her braids. That is so old school. Now, this is 1969, but these braids are called dookie braids. Yeah, dookie, like nasty dookie. Braids were popular back in the 80s. I never wore dookie braids, but I love browsing through the vintage patterns because you get to go back in time. You get to see how the women looked, how they dressed, and it's so fun. It's nostalgic. Okay, take a look at this one, 1969. These two, it's the same woman, African American, and love her. I love looking at the hair because it just reminds me. Heard me say I don't have many pictures from childhood. I don't have memory of a lot that happened in childhood. And when I look at the vintage patterns, it recreates a history. It gives me memories. And I love the puffball. I'm sure I wore my hair like that. So pretty. Okay, let's get to flipping. Okay, she's African American here, 1973. I'm a 70s baby. Grew up in the 80s, and I hope it's not too much glare. Okay, and I love this one here. I used her, she's 1971. I made tags a couple years ago, if not 3 years ago, using this design here. Have no clue where the tags are at. Okay, and then she's African American here. Love her hair. I love the illustrated. I'm going to flip back. No, it's a different girl. Could be the same girl. Okay, I love the illustrated vintage patterns. I do have a couple that's photographic, but I really love this type, the illustrated type. And love her. Love that short fro. 1972. So there's a lot of patterns that I want, that I see online, and I purchase all of my patterns locally. I don't order any online. I like the thrill of the hunt, of the find. And so I get a lot of mine from thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, and no, I don't think I've purchased any from antique stores because they're too expensive. Okay, she's African American here. 1971, and I did keep the instructional, okay, the sewing directions. You see here, she's the African American woman. Look at her fro. So some of the designs don't come with the actual women, and then some designs might not have the women, all the women that you see on the packaging. It just kind of depends. But I love it when I find the sewing directions with the African American women on it, because I could also use that in my crafty creations. Okay, I love this one. Love that short fro. Love what she is wearing. Love, love, love. And I don't have a date here, but the price was $1.25, so it might be 70s. And then she's African American here. She's 75, African American here. Love it. Okay, so love it when I find the men in general. But this here, okay, did my dad dress like that? Look at these high-rise shorts. This is so funny. Because I don't have a lot of pictures of my parents and at different ages of their life, I can only imagine what they wore. And yeah, my dad probably wore his shorts like many of your relatives that high, right? Not today. Love this one. And most of these patterns, I only have one. I only have one. So they're not easy for me to come by. Okay, she's one of the few photographic patterns I have. And she's, I think, from the 70s too. The price was $1.50. Love this one. So summer. Love, love, love. She's wearing yellow. And she has on gingham. Love, love, love. Okay, and this one too. I think I've seen this woman before on a different pattern. The price was $1.75. Love that one. And she's African American here. These are so fun to just browse and look at. Okay, she's African American here. You see her hair. I hope my lighting is good. She's African American here. And I love it when the girls are in different poses. Oh, and I love this one. How I wish I could find a full picture of her. Love that coat she's wearing. It's yellow, one of my fave colors. And look at that hair. Love, love, love. Okay, now, this Annie, I want to call this Annie because I've seen these girls on patterns called Annie. Well, I don't know if it's the same girl and she has a different hairstyle. The skin tones are different. She's the one that may be African American here, 1978. But I love it when I find whoever this girl is. I have several different patterns in that collection. Okay, she's African American here. And this is a Vogue Basics design. It's a larger envelope. She's African American here. Love it when I find the larger patterns. Okay, and she's African American here. And love this one. She's wearing like an orange yellow African American here. And I recently, just like several days ago, found this pattern again. But I found one that's in better condition. Actually, it looks like it's brand new. But I love this one. You see there's tape there because there's a rip. Love, love, love. Let's see. I took out some of the sewing directions, and a lot of these, I don't know what I did with them, though. Okay, I hope I'm within view. Love this. Love the yellow. Okay, this is that, see, Annie, too. Now, yeah, she's African American, and she might be biracial, this one here. I'm looking at the hair. Love it, and love these outfits. Haha. Okay, another Annie one. See, there's a lot of them. Actually, these two are Annie. So, African American, African American, all three of these may be African American. Love, love, love. 1978. Okay. And then another Annie one. These two African American. I love the hair. Look at that. And she has red hair. Love, love, love. Okay, she's African American here. And now, well, these are in the $2 range. She's African American, and love that she's sitting. And I love this one. Love, love, love. I hope I could find another one like that. I want to go back and look at, because we need to find her. Okay, I'm going to leave her to the side right there. And love her. Wait a minute. She's the same girl. A different pattern. Okay, I think she is. All right, love it. She's African American, 1981. All right, she's African American here. Loving the yellow. And these two, African American. A Vogue design. She's African American. And 83, she's African American. Now, I don't collect the ones that are modern because I'm only interested in the vintage ones. Perhaps in 20 years, I'll start collecting the ones that are put out today. Okay, she's African American, totally 80s, right? The headband, the jogging outfit, the leg warmers. I used to wear those in the 80s and early 90s. Okay, she's African American here, 1982, loving that short hairstyle. And she's African American here. Business attire. Okay, so one of the few ones that I have that are photographic, and her name is Diane something. Did she just recently die? If that's her, Diane Carroll. Was she a singer or an actress? You know what? I think she was an actress because I haven't acquired any of her paper dolls. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, she was the first African American woman. This is Black History, right? Okay, I might have my facts a little off, but if it's who I'm thinking, and if I remember correctly, she was the first African American woman to have her own TV series. And I never seen the series, but I know that because I once again buy vintage African American paper dolls, and I've seen the paper dolls for her series, but I have yet to pick any up. And if it's the same woman, she recently passed away. So yeah, that's an African American fact for you, right? If I gave you a fact. Okay, I also have Diana Ross too, one of her patterns, but it's not in this book. Okay, she's African American here. And she's African American here in 1985. So I know a lot of you guys collect patterns. I collect a lot of different types of patterns, but I do definitely look and seek out the ones with African Americans on them. If you guys have a particular type of pattern, style of pattern that you like to collect, leave that below. And if you have any patterns with African Americans on them and you would like to add to my catalog, feel free. Just email me at biblescraps@yahoo.com. Okay, he's African American here. And she's African American here. And love this one because this is like swimwear. Love that hat, African American, of course, here. And she's African American here. Love the outfit. Okay, leopard. I love leopard. She's African American here. And he's African American here. 89. She's African American here. And love it, yellow again. She's African American here. I wish well, who knows? There's thousands of different patterns out there. She might be available in a larger print. She's African American. Love the headband. Okay, 92 now. She's African American here. She's African American. And let's turn it. No, I don't want to turn it. There's two African Americans here, her and her. And then she's African American here. So it's very hard for me to cut into an original envelope because I rarely come across duplicates. Okay, I don't want to have to turn. All right. Hopefully I can stay within view. She's African American here. And you can see how the style changed. Okay, let's go back this way. These two are African American here. And these two are African American here. And I hope I don't have to redo this video because of the glare from the sleeves. I may have two of these. She's African American here, and you see her curls, how they extend out. Love that. Okay, and then this one, she's African American here. Okay, and she's African American here. I think she's the same one we just saw with the hair extended out, the bangs. Okay, love her. Love that hair. And then she's African American here. And she's African American, 92, 93. She's African American. Summer dresses, 94. She's African American. And then she's African American, Vogue Basic Design, 91. Okay, and then all this glare. She's African American, another Basic Design, 95. And she's African American here. Love the head wrap. These are popular again. Okay, and then I have, oh look, Paris pleated pants. I didn't know that said Paris. You guys know I was there, my husband and I, in July, August of last year. Okay, she's African American here. And this is the stretch and sew. These come in two different sizes. I acquired quite the collection of the larger patterns. And I believe she's African American here. I'm looking at her hair. And you know what? Oh, they do come. They come with the actual women. Ooh, love that. Okay, and then you could find these in different colors. She's African American here. These were $1.50, so they're probably from the 70s. Okay, I'm not done, you guys. And I still have to share my favorite, and I've shared this before a couple years ago, but my all-time favorite pattern. Okay. Oh, is this her? This is her right here. This is the copy. It copied pretty good. Okay. So 1992. 1996. She's African American. She's African American here. I'm pointing out the ones African American because I don't know how well it's going to convey via screen. She's African American here. 1996. Love her hair. I wore my hair like that throughout my life, pretty much. Okay, she's African American. In 97. Love this. She's African American. And love this one. That short hair. She's African American there. And she's African American. Love the hoop earrings. I wore a lot of those. 1998. She's African American. And you know what? Is she the same girl? It looks like it. Okay. And she's African American. Okay. I'm in the 2000s now. This is 2001. Remember, I have a whole lot more that I need to share that's not in this album. She's African American. See how the designs changed? She's African American. And she is here. I'm thinking she might be biracial here. And she's African American here. And I love this one. Love her. Love that hair. She's African American, 2004. Oh, and love this one too. Look. Can you see her cornrows? I love it. Love, love, love. 2005. And she's African American, 2010. Okay, I didn't realize I had some so current. 2013 here. And she's African American here. Okay, so let me share my favorite, my all-time favorite design. You guys have to come back for part 2. I'll share it sometime this month. I'm also going to share, because a couple years ago, well, when I first started this series 3 years ago, I was supposed to also share my ebony magazines and clippings, because I do incorporate the clippings in journals. I need to bring that video this month as well. Okay, my all-time, first let's take a look at some of my paper dolls that I made. I'll just grab some of these out. I also used faces to make bottle cap charms. See, love them. You guys, I love this because to me, it's more authentic. Well, number one, you guys have heard me talk about this. I've spent a lot of money on crafting, scrapbooking, card making stuff, and have very, 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 very little of anything that reflects who I am, that represents me, my family, my culture. And it is so gratifying for me when I love the patterns. I love the images. I'm so grateful for the vintage African and African American rubber stamp collection that I have, because it's still lacking in the craft sector. But I find fulfillment when I use these images. I'm so grateful for them. And look at this one. Love, love, love. So grateful for these because they enhance my projects. It brings more meaning when I create, when I use something. To me, this feels authentic. Now, with that being said, I do want to see more color in scrapbooking paper and all other crafty type stuff that we buy. Stamps. It's priceless to me. So I'm loving my binder, and no, I can't cut into these. I'll continue to make copies. I'll just use the couple duplicates that I have. I'll use those originals. But are you guys ready for my all-time favorite design? And I hope to come across another one of these. Oh, I've been collecting these for I don't know how many years, and I've only come across the one. And I wish I knew where I got it from. Are you guys ready? Okay, here we go. My all-time favorite! Okay, here it is. This is my all-time favorite pattern design. I am loving this girl here. Look at that fro, that curly fro. I love the pose. I love the clothes she's wearing. I mean, I love her hair too. It's something about the curly hair, and I just love it. And I do have the sewing directions, and she is on it. Ah! I don't have it inside of the packaging. I actually saw it last night when I was looking through some of my magazine clippings. But yeah, she is my favorite. So the cost was $1. I'm sure she's probably early 70s, and I love her. Isn't she adorable? Isn't she lovely? Okay, you guys, that's gonna conclude part 1 of my vintage African American sewing patterns. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I have. I haven't flipped through this book in definitely over a year, if not a couple years, when I first compiled it and put it together. But anyway, I'm loving sewing patterns. I love the African American ones for all the reasons that I stated and for more. And once again, if you guys have some patterns that you are interested in sharing with me, I would love to receive them. You can email me at biblescraps@yahoo.com or just leave a comment below. All right, you guys, like this video. Feel free to share this video, and do come back because I endeavor, if I can get in my garage and sort through patterns, I do endeavor. Actually, I have a whole stack that I could share right now, but I'm going to share those in the next video, so you guys be sure to come back. Okay, like, subscribe, share, and if you are celebrating Black History Month, leave the information below because I would like to join you. All right, you guys, I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.